Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Today's video, we're going to talk about the Gloomspite Gitz again because we've got more rules that have been revealed for the Gloomspite Gitz. Now, all of these rules we're going to talk about have come from Games Workshop themselves on their Warhammer Plus battle report for the Gloomspite Gitz. And I want to throw a shout out to apparently AOS Chill Tup, who is the one that got all these screenshots out of there, took all the time to do this, and then these were shared by @ChumpHammer on Twitter as well, and that's how I found them all, so we're going to have a look through them all. Thank you to the two of them for sharing and for indeed collecting all of these. You do the great work for the community here, so let's have a look, let's chat about all these rules. They're a bit sort of here and there, there's no full picture yet, but there's a lot to chat about, so let's talk Gloomspite Gitz. Alrighty, and so here we have the first lot of rules. We're going to read these left to right. So first of all, we have the Missiles Pouch. We've seen this one, first of all, we've already seen this. This is one of the ones they showed on Warhammer Community the other day, talking about how the new Squig boss can give out the mushrooms to a friendly Squig unit within 3 inch. And then we've got the Yellow Lurker. If the unmodified hit roll for an attack made with a Fang-filled Gob, massive Fang-filled Gob, or huge Fang-filled Gob is a 6. It does a mortal wound in addition to any other damage. Pretty cool being able to put some mortal wounds out. This is, pretty reminiscent of the Loon boss, but obviously a much better variation. It's not on the wound rolls, and it's not going on your Gitz. So, Layers of the Loon King Lad. So this is something we're going to see for the first time. If you command a King's Gitz army, we're assuming this is probably a sub-faction with Scragrot, you would assume. Scragrot's particular sub-faction. You can reroll the dice roll when using the Bad Moon Loon Shrine's Moon Clan Layers ability. That Layers ability has changed. This is a rule that brings models back to the Gloomspite Gitz units. At the end of each of your turns, you can pick a friendly Gloomspite Gitz unit that has been destroyed. The unit picked cannot be a hero, cannot be unique, and must have a wounds characteristic of 5 or less. So this means trogs, spiders. It's effectively putting all of those rules we had for those changes into one. After you pick that unit, you can roll a dice on a 4+, a replacement unit with half the models from that unit is destroyed. And it's added to your army. Set that unit up wholly within 12 inch. Of the Bad Moon Loon Shrine, each destroyed unit can only be replaced once. Replacement units cannot generate replacement units themselves. And Moon Clan Stabbers and Shooters can include up to half as many netters as destroyed unit. So you can't, bring back 10 models and half of them are netters. You have to bring back half the unit of netters as well. So this is interesting because what's cool about this, first of all, it includes models that previously weren't in this, so this would allow you to bring back some of your important support pieces. I'm thinking things like, Fanatics, Sports Bladder Fanatics could come back through this, the Sneaky Snufflers and all of that, as well as, your Spider Riders. This also means like Boingrot Bounders instead of just Squig Hoppers, Squig Herd come back, Shooters, Stabbers, even the new what are they called? New Snarlfangs, the new Wolf Riders could come back from this as well, which is really cool. So this opens up a lot more. This really is quite fun. In the middle now, though, we've got this Let's Get Bouncing rule where Giant Cave Squig leaps and bounds towards the enemy. In the combat phase, after this unit has fought for the first time in that phase, you can pick a friendly Boingrot Bounders unit that has not yet fought in that phase within 3 inch, and they can fight immediately. So this is to do with the Squig boss on Giant Cave Squig. If he fights, he can bring a unit of Boingrot Bounders to come fight in after him, which is really cool. I like these rules. It allows, those fighty characters to do something. The fact he's actually mounted on a Squig is really fun as well. He'd actually, bring in a decent unit with the Boingrot Bounders as well. And moving on, we have Squig Whisperer. So this is a Squig hero with mount only. This is one of the different traits we can get for our heroes. You get +1 to hit and wound rolls for attacks made by the general's mount. So a nice command trait there. This is really cool because generally grots aren't that great in combat, so being able to actually put the benefits of this onto the mount specifically is exactly what you want to do. You don't want to be giving, this boss an artifact that boosts his own stats. You want to be able to give the Squig stuff. So really good on something like a Magna Squig to get +1 to hit and wound. Now, Kersplat is when the models move in. Magna Squigs, after this unit makes a charge move, you can pick an enemy unit within 1 inch and roll a dice. For each model in that unit, to a maximum of 10 dice. For a 4+, they suffer a mortal wound. This is cool. So, two things on this. This is a they've started doing this with a few rules now, bringing in these numbers to cap things at, like they have in 40k. There's a lot of things where it says you can do a number of mortal wounds in 40k up to, say, 6 or 8, or up to half the models in the unit, whatever. And I started doing this on a few things in Age of Sigmar. I particularly like this. This stops, you know, massive swingy things. All of a sudden you roll a spell that does a mortal wound to every unit, every model in your unit on a 4+, and all of a sudden, you know, you roll hot and wipe out 26 of a 30 model unit because you get lucky on your rolls. But still, this is still a cool rule, rolling up to 10 dice to do some mortal wounds on a 4+. 5 mortal wounds into any unit that has 10 or more wounds on average is pretty solid to me. Continuing on though with the Manga Squigs, they have a Giant Boing, which is a Manga Squig only monstrous rampage. We know, thanks to the article, that we're going to get something interesting for the spiders as well for monstrous rampage. But the Manga Squig unit can make a 3d6 move, but it must finish within 3 inches of any enemy units. This is pretty cool. So this is pretty reminiscent of the Stonehorn one, where it can charge through enemy units. Remembering that Squigs can effectively fly if they've still got that. This is pretty cool. This could allow you to, you know, hit the front lines, hit the screens, and then jump right over. Cool rule. Follow the moon. You can not pick this tactic, so a battle tactic in the first battle round. You complete this tactic if at the end of your turn, every friendly Gloomspite Gitz unit on the battlefield is affected by the light of the bad moon. You control more objectives than your opponent. Not quite sure on how the bad moon light is working at the moment, but cool. We've got our own special battle tactics. Squig's Gone Wild. Each time a cave squig in this unit flees before that model is removed, on a 2+, you pick an enemy unit within 9 inch, and that unit suffers a mortal wound. Pretty similar to what we got now. Netters, though, is a big change. It's just, if you've got netters in the unit, you -1 to hit. This is so much better than the current, like, kerfuffle that we have with the netters in the game. Solid rule, -1 to hit, fighting against units with netters in them. And then lastly, we get a look at the change to the Squiglaw spell, which previously gave us run and charge with the Squigs. This is now just going to allow you to reroll charge rolls to that unit. This is pretty cool. You know, Gloomspite have been an army where you generally have a lot of command points. We're not sure how much that's staying with the army, but, you know, so you're not having to spend command points on the rerolls. This is still a really cool rule. Much enjoy. Really, really fun. But yeah, that's a bunch of new Gloomspite Gitz rules. So what do you all think? I'm quite excited by what I'm seeing from Gloomspite Gitz. Like I've said before, they're one of my favourite armies in the game. I can't wait to see what else is going to come for them. And we'll have the series of videos coming out on the channel in this coming weekend for them to go through all the getting started videos and all of that good stuff. If you love your Gloomspite Gitz and you want something to check out now, why not go check out some of our videos on Gloomspite Gitz and the Gobblepalooza in Warcry. And so that is the end of the video. We hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But also, if you'd like to, drop a comment down below letting us know what you enjoyed about the video. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our little community, here we have a Discord server for Sinful Gaming where we chat all things wargaming and indeed just chat a bunch of good friends all chatting there. It's really lovely. There's a link to that in the video's description. Also, if you'd like to help support the channel, the best ways to do that are linked in the video's description as well. We have our Patreon, YouTube members on there, which are great ways to help support the channel. But also, if you'd like to grab yourself some channel merch, we have Teespring and Ko-fi, both linked there as well. As a special thank you to our Patreons and YouTube members, we'd like to give them all a shout out for helping support the channel. So thank you to our Patreons: Christian Weir, Soren, Kenny Lowe, Alaron Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Thee, The Rising Ape, Cure Dynamic, Anthony B, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Bloobs, Benjamin Swallows, Red Martin, Iron Grinch, Nuffs, and Nicholas Colomos. And to our YouTube members: Green Roots Gaming, Ronya, Lochloric, The Johnny84, David Ellsworth, Wolfric Nick, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Revenar, Pink Nico Fire, Robin Mankiller, Monty's Tabletop Terrain, John Castle, Davis Weir, James South, and James Tillman. Thank you all for supporting the channel. It means the absolute world and allows us to keep doing what we're doing. A special thanks as well to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork to the channel, and indeed to everyone who helps come and film battle reports or helps run the Discord server. You're all amazing. Thank you all so much. Stay safe, everyone. Stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. Ciao for now.